Assalamu alaikum. This is your computer science teacher, Sarfawaz Karamsari. Today we are about to discuss the pseudocode solution of pre-release material 0478 and 2210, variant number 22. Okay, and the year is May-June 2022. So 0478 and 2210 has the same question scenario of variant 2022, and the month and the year is May-June 2022. Okay, let's have a brief look at task 1, task 2 and task 2 of the scenario first, that I already explained in my previous video, so you may get a detailed explanation over there. In this video, first we discuss the scenario in a glimpse, and then we will discuss the pseudocode in detail. Okay, there is a park named Wildlife Park, and it needs to sell the tickets. So there is a scenario that a booking consists of one or more tickets for the same day, or the days can be made up to a week in the advance. Like I can do the booking of 1 day, or I can do the booking of 2 days, right? A booking can be made for a visit of 1 day or 2 consecutive days. Like let's suppose if I want to book a wildlife park for 1 day and it is day 1, right? And if I want to book a park for 2 days, like let's suppose I choose a day Tuesday and a Wednesday. So these are the 2 consecutive days, and it must have an extra attraction included, right? So the ticket choice is here. If I select one adult, so the cost for 1 day is $20 and the cost for 2 days are $30. Ticket number 2 is one child and one adult, right? So one adult can bring up one child or 2 children only. So for the children the cost is $12 for the 1 day, and the cost for $2 is $18. Okay, one senior cost for 1 day is $16 and the 2 day is $24. Family ticket, which must include maximum 2 adults or seniors like grandpa, grandma, or the parents themselves, and maximum 3 children. So $60 is for 1 day, $90 for 2 days. Group of 6 or more people, but the price per person is mentioned here. Cost for 1 day for one person $15, and the 2 days for one person is $22.50. Extra attraction, live feeding, of cost for per person $2.50. Extra attraction, penguin feeding, cost per person $2, and evening barbecue for only 2 tickets, 2 days ticket only. So cost per person is $5. So we must have the validation checks. It says that the program must include appropriate prompts, means a clear instruction that what the user needs to require. So the appropriate prompts for entry of data and the validation on every entry. Output messages must be crystal clear so the user can easily understand, easily communicate with the system. So it is here. Variable, constant, and other identifiers must have meaningful name. Okay. So task 1, display the ticket option. Task 1, display the ticket option and extra attraction available. So we have to display the option, attraction and price for 1 day, display the option, attraction and price for the 2 day ticket. We just need to display. Ensure the available days for booking and assume that there are tickets available for any valid day. So task 1 is simple, that we just need to display tickets for 1 day with an extra attraction and tickets for 2 days with an extra attraction, and show the available booking days. Okay, now let's start from the task 1. So I have started working on it. So these are the variables that I declare for the task 2. I will discuss it later on with you guys, that why do I need to declare the variables. First part is that okay, task 1. Alright, now actually the variables are important part, so I think I need to discuss it right now. So first understand task 2, that what it requires. Extend your program to input the ticket and extra attraction, right? And then calculate the total cost of the booking. Then we have to allocate a unique booking number and then display booking details including total cost, unique booking number, and repeat as required. Means we have to repeat the entire booking process for an individual. So task 1 and task 2 I have explained to you. Why did I explain you task 2? Because we have to set the variables. So task 2, first study only variables declaration for the task 2. We need to take the ticket choice as an integer and day as integer, right? Ticket choice means we have here, you can see, so ticket 1 adult, ticket number 2 this, ticket number 3 this, ticket number 4 this, and ticket number 5 this, right? And it also says that we can day booking for the 1 day or 2 day. So that is why I have here ticket choice and day, 1 day or 2 day. Then I use a variable. Following variable is used to execute a repeat process to process individual booking system. Individually booking we have to do. So declare user choice as a character. Why do I use user choice as a character? I will explain you in the next steps, right? So declare user choice as a character, ticket choice integer and the DS integer. Next is following variables used to store booking number and the book number. So book number is an integer and booking date as string. Why do I use booking date as a string? I will tell you in the next step. So booking number, book number as an integer. Then following arrays are used to record the data. This is a key point that when I was making a pseudocode, so I thought that there must be a question in the question paper that you have to declare any two arrays in your task 1 or in your program. So I decided to make a variable with an array. So that is why I use let me highlight. That is why I use date 7 days, dates are for the 7 days, right? And declare days as a string. Means available days, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they are the 7 days, and for the same days we must have the dates, right? So that is why I use a variable to record data in the form of array. So this is the array for the dates for the 7 days, and the number of days which are available, 7 days. I both used to take as a string. Okay. Next is variable is used to count number of dates and days. This is a count variable. Why do I use it? I will explain you in detail in the next step. That following variable is used to count number of days and dates. Next is arrow to record 100 booking. This is as a sample. You can take 500, you can take 1000, you can take 2000, you can take 5000, you can take 10,000. It's up to you. So I just, for an instance, I use 100. So I used a variable as an array booking number, and I will store 100 values in it, 100 bookings in it. Okay. So how many arrays we have now? One is a date, second is a days, and the third array is in booking number. So we have 3 arrays in our program. Next, following variables I used to record number of adult, children, and senior. So number of adult as an integer, declare number of child, number of senior, and the group of people. So these are the integers. For extra fraction, following variables are used to record number of adult and children, and they are used to record the number of people for day 1 and day 2. Okay. So this is a common variable for day 1 and day 2. We have to feed line, so I use a variable. We have to feed the penguin because we have to calculate the cost of lion and penguin as well. And the additional variable is used to record the number of people for day 2 only, which is a barbecue, that how many people will do the barbecue. So we will store in it. Next is a variable to record the cost of number of adult and child. The cost of adult as integer, cost of child as integer, and the cost as real. It could be in the decimal. So that is why I use the data type as the real. For Okay, now for extract action, for following variables I used to record cost of the people. So line cost variable, penguin cost variable, barbecue cost variable, extra cost variable, and total cost variable I use to calculate the cost of each and everything. Okay, for the declaration of task 3, I stop declaration. I stop explaining the declaration for the task 3 because we have not read and studied the task 3. So just leave it here. Now we go for the array for the date. So date 1 position is 24 January 2022. Date 2 position 25 January 2022, and then you may see a list of 7 dates. And for the days I have stored Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have stored that number of days. So we have 3 arrays in our program. Initializing book number variable to set the default value, like when our program run, it will store the 0 value, means it will just leave it blank, means it is a fresh start. Right now task 1 has been started. So these are the variable declarations that I have explained except task 3. So I will explain the variable of task 3 when I start explaining the task 3. Okay. Now for the task 1, repeat loop is used to repeat entire booking process. Why? Because it says that we have to basically task 2 is the extension of the task 1. So I just took the thing in my mind that in the task 2 they said that we have to repeat it. So that is why to repeat the entire process I started the execution of repeat loop with the task 1. So repeat loop is used to repeat the entire booking process. Okay. Now repeat. Initializing variables. We have declared the variables. Now it is time to initialize every variable. So whenever our program starts, it will start with a fresh data. So ticket price 0, day 0, and the booking date 0. So I have initialized every variable with the default value, which is 0. Okay. Now task 1 is just about the display, right? So we have to display each and everything over here. So for the display, that we have to display option of extra attraction prices for 1 day, 2 day, okay, and then we have to display for the tickets availability. So this is a ticket selling menu. Welcome to Wildlife Park. This is a heading. Ticket 1, okay, 1 adult, ticket number 2, right, cost for 1 day and cost for 2 day. So this is my approach to write a program. Your approach may be different, so it's optional. It is not necessary that you follow the same things that I did in my pseudocode. Basically my pseudocode is an exoskeleton. You may edit it according to your approach. So ticket number 3 is for 1 senior, cost for 1 day is $16, cost for 2 days $34. In the same way ticket number 4 and ticket number 5. Okay. Then for the extra attraction, charges to feed a lion per person is $2.50, charges to feed a penguin $2, charges for evening barbecue $5. Okay, this is the display, and then I display available days for booking. So to display the 7 dates along with the 7 days with for loop, right? So I use this count to process and to display 1 till 7 dates and the days. So you may see dates count stores 1 till 7 values, so it is here, and the days count, so means the 7 dates will be printed with the 7 dates. Okay, now this is okay, now this process will be executed 7 times. So this is a task 1, right, and task 1 has ended. Now we study task 2, process a booking. Now in the processing of a booking, we have to extend our program to input the ticket and extra attraction required, calculate total cost, allocate a unique booking number, okay, alright, and then display the booking details with the total cost, unique number, and repeat as required. So task 2, let's start task 2. I used a book number which has a default value 0, right? So it means that current value of book number is a 0, When you add a 1, so it becomes 0 plus 1 equals 1. So the 1 value will store in the book number. Then I used a variable booking number which has 100 values, right? 100 booking numbers. So it will compare 100 with the current number, right? So when the 1 will store in the book number, it will compare with the bookings that already are stored in the form of an array. So whether there are 100 bookings or not. So what will be the current value, like it becomes 0 plus 1 here, 0 plus 1 becomes 1. Then in the next step, booking number is now 1, then it will plus 1 in the current booking number, means 1 plus 1 becomes 2, then it will store here. Now the current book number is 2, then plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3, then book number is 3 now. So the current value of book number is 3, then 3 plus 1, 4. Now 4 is in this variable. So it will count till 100, means it will process till 100, right? Now the printing process booking number and we will display the book number, and then we have to input the data using the proper messages like kindly enter number of day or days to visit, 1 or 2, and it will be stored in the variable day. Now we have to apply a validation check to restrict the user, because it says that we have to perform a validation check on every entry. So if day is greater than 2, like we have day 1 and day 2 choice, what if I input by mistake 3 or 4? So validation check is there that if day is greater than 2, then our process will be repeated. Which process is repeated? Print invalid day, right? If day is greater than 2, then then our loop will be executed, and it will display print invalid day, and then it will ask again kindly enter number of day or days to visit, and how many times this loop will be executed until we input day 1 or day 2, which is less than 3. Now we close this if statement with the end if, and then it will ask that input kindly select any one ticket, and it will be stored in the ticket choice variable. I hope you understand till here. I repeat again my statement that this is basically an exoskeleton, so you may edit it according to your approach. There is no fixed pseudocode that any teacher can say that you may follow this pseudocode or this pseudocode. You may follow any pseudocode, but you may edit it according to your approach, right? Okay, now next validation check is to restrict user for the false input. Which type of validation we are talking about? Let me select here. Input kindly select any one ticket, because we have only 5 tickets. What if we enter above 5? So it is here that if choice ticket greater than 5, then our loop will be executed. Input invalid ticket choice, and then kindly select any one of them. So it will be stored in the ticket choice. How much it will be repeated until we input the choice between 1 till 5, right? And then it will ask that enter the booking date, and booking date will be stored in this variable. I hope you understand this chunk of pseudocode. Okay, now task 2 for the day 1, right? Now we are about to calculate for the day 1. If day equals to 1, then our system will check ticket choice. That if ticket choice is 1, means first it will check day 1, then it will go to check ticket choice, which is 1. And if the ticket choice is 1, then it will say that it will ask that kindly enter number of adults, right? Let me have a glimpse of it. Number of adults. Here you can see number of adult. Cost for one day, day 1 is $20. Okay, so day 1, then it will check ticket choice. If it is 1, then it will ask the user to enter number of adults, and it will be stored in this variable. Okay, then our cost for one day, $20, will be multiplied with the number of adults, and then it will store in cost variable, and this condition will be switched off using and if statement. Now next is day 1 and the ticket choice is 2. Now in this step our system will remain in the form of day 1. Then after that it will check if whether is the ticket choice 2 or not. So if the ticket choice is 2, then we will ask that kindly enter number of adult. Okay, now let me have, this is the ticket number 2. One child, an adult may bring up two children. An adult means one adult can bring one child, or one adult can bring up maximum two children. Like a father is going to a park, then he may take his daughter with him, or if the mother is there, so she may take her daughter and son with her. So only one parent is allowed and up to two children are allowed. So that is why here if ticket choice is 2, then it will ask enter number of adult and it will be storing number of adult. Now we must make sure that there must no adult than the 1. So greater than one adult is not allowed. So we have this validation check over here. Now if number of adult greater than 1, then our loop will be executed and will display a message that only one adult is allowed. That will ask enter number of adult and will be showing number of adult. How much it will ask until we input less than 2, which is 1 obviously. Then our condition statement will be closed here, and then it will ask enter number of children up to 2 only, and it will be stored in the number of child variable. So up to 2, maximum 2 children are allowed, above 2 are not allowed. So we have to again place the validation check over here. So you may see that validation check is applied here to restrict user for false input. So if number of child greater than 2, then it will repeat the entire process and will display a message that up to two children are allowed. So it will ask another time that kindly enter the number of children up to 2 only, and will be storing number of child, and how much time it will ask until we reaches to number of children 2 or 1, because there are up to 2 children allowed only. So here we can see that our condition statement has been switched off. Now if number of adult is 1, if now number is adult is 1, then we will calculate the cost of one adult and will add up in the store in the cost adult. And then if number of child is 1, then it will store in the cost underscore child variable and 12 multiply number of child, and both cost adult and child will be add up and will be stored in the variable cost. So we have two ifs here, one if is there, one other if is there. So we have switched off both statements. Another combination is number of adult remains the same, means 1, and what if the number of child is equals to 2? Then it will cause the calculate the cost of 2 children, 12 multiply number of child, and then it will add up cost child and cost adult and cost child variable, and it will store in the cost variable. Sorry, I mistyped here equal to. There must be this arrow sign in the pseudocode. Okay. So we have here 1 if, 2 if. So I have closed these 2 ifs. What about the third if? So let me explain you. Third if is number of child. Okay. Sorry, number of child. It is choice 2, because we are working on the choice 2. So this is the third if that we need to close, choice 2. So that is why the third if is here, choice number 2. Okay, now final part of day 1, like what if ticket choice is 3, then it will ask the user enter number of senior, because choice, let me show you, this is a ticket number 3, 1 senior. Okay, 1 senior, so that is why we need to ask that enter number of senior. It will be storing number of senior variable, then we will multiply the cost and will store in the cost variable and switch off the end if statement. Now ticket number 4, here family ticket up to 2 adult or senior and 3 children. So if ticket choice is 4, it will ask the number of senior or adults, it will store in the variable number of adult. Validation check is being applied that more than 2 are not allowed. So if number of adult greater than 2, then it will ask the same thing, kindly enter the number of adults, and it will also show a message that up to 2 senior or adults allowed only. So it will ask how many times until we input the number of adults less than 3, like 2 adults or 1 adult. And then it will ask the number of children, and it will be stored in the number of child variable. Again, we will place a validation check that if number of child greater than 3, uh, okay, so I by mistake closed my uh, previous material. So this is the thing that we have to input 3 children. Okay, so there are 3 children, and here you can see that we have to input the children which are less than 4, means 3. So the cost is $60 will be stored in the cost variable. Why? Because it says that family ticket cost is $60. So that is why we have predefined set of value which is $60, and it will be stored in the cost variable. Now we switch off and if statement. Now last part, that if ticket choice is 5. What is a ticket 5? Group of 6 people or more and cost is $15. So ticket choice is 5, then it will ask the user to enter number of group of people. It will store in this variable, and if the people are greater than equal to 6, then the cost will be multiplied with the $15, and it will be stored in the cost variable. And then we will switch off and if statement. We have two ifs here, 1 and 2 if here. And what about the third if? It's the ticket choice if, basically. Sorry, it is for the day 1 and if, right? It is for the day 1 that we opened for the day 1, right? So day 1 will be closed here using the and if statement. So now this is a part 1 of the pseudocode solution. I hope you understood, but if you do not understand, you may ask me in the comments, or you may ask me on the Facebook. Next part of the solution I will upload inshallah soon. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.